Today, Chris has promised to give us the most wonderful of opportunities to cheer you up. So it's all yours, Chris.
Thank you. Right, well, I'll share my screen, of course, first of all. And here we go. So here's my little parish. Now, if I zoom in to an area within the parish, we've got some new housing estates which have been finished, about 370 homes in this area. And the land slopes downhill from where my cursor is, sort of southwest. And what's happened over the last couple of years is that as the buildings have been put up, more and more homeowners have experienced flooded gardens from water, underground water, obviously flowing downhill. And I was wondering how I could use Parish Online to get to grips with who I should approach to try and fix the problem of all this excess water. So what I've done is I've had a look at OS overlays, PSGA. So if I click on that and I come down to water network nodes, water network watercourses, let's click on that first of all. And as an example, we'll have a look at a couple of nodes here. Now, I don't know what the terminology of nodes is. What does it represent? What can I do to get information about the nodes? So if I click on that, here we come. It gives me a reference number, but I can't understand a word of what is being put in the layer on the left-hand side. Who do I contact to have a meeting regarding nodes? Let me just close that for a moment. And if I go on to the next one, watercourses, I'll zoom out. Click on watercourses. Now then, if I don't know what these are, so if I click on one at random, again, I have a reference number, but I can't decipher what on earth all these squares are. And there are lots of them. So that, I would like to know, I mean, I could ask Parish Online, of course, what do these represent? I go up into view, go to legend, and I can't find that colored square anywhere. So that's my initial inquiry. And I'm just wondering if anybody has got any information that I could make use of. As you could explain to me perhaps what these nodes and what these watercourse things represent. Any ideas?
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Nobody knows anything.
I suppose the next port of call is to write up a ticket.
Yes. Certainly they'll be able to, if you go to the layers, Chris, and hover over the right-hand end, does it tell you where the information is coming from? So you know how if you just go up to the top layer, the OS overlays layer, does it tell you there? If you just sort of hover somewhere other than over the arrow, yeah, there we go. So it doesn't tell you a thing, does it?
No.
And if you do the same on the individual layers, does that achieve anything? No. Okay. Well, then I think, yes, your only course of action is to write to Geosphere and ask them.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Yeah. And you know, if it gives some answers to the problems that our parishioners have got with surface flooding, then obviously, you know, I could sort of develop that and try and get
I
some
did have
action.
I had some further thoughts on that, and it's rather useful that Malcolm is on board today, because I wonder what happens if you go and look at the tithe maps from previous centuries.
What layer would I be looking
I
at?
think they're in the Somerset ER, the
Yeah.
historical
Heritage.
thing. So if
Yeah.
you go, close all those down, Chris.
I was going to come back to those later. So
If you just go up to the magnifying glass and type in tithe, which I think is TITHE. Yeah, so go into either the heritage or the HER. Not sure which it's going to be. Yeah, so the last time I was looking at these with Malcolm, it was crystal clear why places were wet, because it shows you all the dew ponds and everything else that they had a couple of 100 years ago. And it became, if you're looking at the slope where your people are all getting soaked.
yes. So what might that tell me?
Well, nothing at the moment. The 46. When I was looking with Malcolm, it was showing us, you know, previous ponds which had disappeared or streams that have gone underground. But there's nothing there in that particular area for you.
No.
Isn't there something around the 46?
Yeah, that's sort of new close. That's the new sort of the underlying one coming through. Can you turn off your underlying OS layer, Chris, so that we don't get confused by the stuff?
Right. I'll come out of there completely. What do you want me to turn off?
The standard one. So go back up to the top green ones.
Green.
Go into the Ordnance Survey PSGA. Sorry, third one down. And turn off the standard, or at least reduce the breakthrough.
Oh, there we are.
Yes.
Yeah, that's better.
So you've got orchards there.
Yeah.
Which presumably were there because there was water. And you've got a place called
that one orchard still exists, but all the rest have disappeared. So that one is still an orchard.
Right.
And all these here, these fields are now housing estates.
Yes, and I'm quite intrigued by 39.
Yeah.
Pond
close.
I think it's a bit of a giveaway, don't you?
Yes, yes.
And that looks like marshiness in the top left corner of 39.
Yes.
I don't know what that legend means, but it looks marshy to me.
There's a pond. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for that. That's most interesting, because I'll ponder that later on.
That's quite the worst pun of the day.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
So,
as a serious note, I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
As a serious note, I think this underlines something that we discovered, is that when you actually are considering planning applications, you should always look at the tide map.
Yes.
Look at 17 and 18, Chris. They're all marked lakes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's blindingly obvious, isn't it?
Yes. That's very interesting.
And Great Lake and Little Lake, 20 and 22.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know how that's going to solve the problem for you, but it might explain it.
Yes, indeed. Well, I shall certainly tap into that. Yeah.
Chris, last year was a particularly wet year for us. The clay got very saturated, and there's a large part of the village where you couldn't dig a hole without it immediately filling up.
Right.
but most of the time you simply don't know that that's the soil structure. It's just when you have a particularly wet winter, and last winter was particularly wet in the sense that it rained a lot over a long period.
Oh,
and
right.
we had a lot of areas like this where people were experiencing flooding that just appeared where they never experienced it before.
Yes.
But that's only going to get worse as time
Oh,
goes
dear.
on, you know.
Yes. Yes.
The planning authority ought to take this into account. They don't.
They never do.
Yeah.
In fact, they particularly ignore any comment from based on local knowledge, going back 50 years or so.
Yes. Yes.
But Andrew, a side map is hardly local knowledge.
I suspect it is, as far as planning officers are concerned.
Now, forgive me for moving on to something quite different. There's some activity going on in our parish, and nobody will tell us what's going on. And it's to do with extending an overhead power cable across the main road into a field, an agricultural field, which has got planning permission for 200 homes.
Yeah,
now, I've gone to the South Somerset District Council layer, and I've found overhead cables. And I'm just wondering, I was expecting to see where the lines of cables were going through our parish, but nothing comes up.
No, I think you have to zoom quite a long way out, Chris. I think it only does the main distribution pylons.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Aren't you talking about work that's about to take place?
Yes.
So none of that's going to be on the map yet.
No, of course not. No, no. Let me just see table view. That won't help, will it?
Yeah.
Oh, here we are. Overhead cables. I haven't actually looked at this before, so I won't bore you with that. I will go on to that tonight when I, have a scout around these
Chris,
overhead cables.
Let's execute Andrew's favorite point. And if you go into this table view and go along to the column marked parish and click on it, then that should sort everything into parish order. There's nothing for Rainsford, okay?
These are all Somerset parishes, aren't they?
Yes, but nothing for Rainsford.
He's a first digger, is he?
If you go down, is there anything? No.
Yeah, there should be.
You're
not on the map, Richard.
Didn't know.
Well, I'm under the national grid layer, and I can see all our towers and pylons and cables.
Yeah.
Well, you've got one or two up there, haven't you? Yeah.
Well, we've got a few.
So have you got? If Chris goes into the national grid layer, can he see those?
Should be able to. It's not on the SSD.
Somerset?
Yeah, it's under national grid on your layers.
Just do a search. See fastest way.
There you are.
Right.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, towers, pylons. But you need to come out a bit, I expect, Chris. Zoom out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd switch off, Chris. I'd switch off your tithe map. It might make it a little bit.
What layer is tithe under?
Somerset Heritage.
Somerset
It's
Heritage.
the bottom of the green ones, Chris.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, great. So that's a bit
So you didn't turn
clearer.
that off, Chris.
You haven't turned it off yet.
It's probably there for good.
Yes.
Thank you. So zoom out.
If I were you, I'd turn off your boundaries as well. They're a pain in the neck.
You're going to have to zoom right. You're going to have to zoom out over towards over towards me, Chris, because they only got the main ones by the look of it.
No, I can't see.
Switched on.
National.
And the cable, I do the overhead lines as well. Do the overhead lines as well. and they're saying
Yeah.
zoom in.
Ah,
There you
there
go.
we go.
Oh, there we go.
That's the main ones.
That's
Yeah.
the main
Gosh, yeah.
ones.
Everything leads to Stogosi, doesn't it?
Of course.
Imagine why.
And
Look at all
We're a
that.
net we're a net importer.
Yeah. So
you?
we are
Really?
down,
Yes, I suppose you are.
we're down here, miles from that main.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you don't have.
Well,
Yeah,
when
they
you get
obviously-
electricity in Castle Carey, you'll have some.
Ah,
How about substations?
let's go to
Probably have
substations.
don't you?
No,
I still
good.
think that's probably still the main ones. So
Yeah.
Bridgewater and
Yes.
Bridgewater, Shirton and the like.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for your input. I've learnt a lot this afternoon, and I shall stop sharing.
And is
Great.
that it? Just those two
Uh,
little questions?
That's it, actually. Yes.
Well, I think that's very point.
Well, I think he
Mild.
did very well. It's very interesting to see
Yeah.
the old maps and to
Yes,
have a good
yes.
look.
Yes.
I've got a question. If you
Yes,
Open.
please, Stuart, pitch in.
last week you showed me how to get our district planning website into Parish Online,
Well, a link to it, yes.
a link to it. I
Yeah.
tried that and it just returns null when it's looking for that site.
Okay. Can you go, first of all, share your screen, Stuart, please?
Okay.
And then go to your portal and select a specific application that you're interested in. I mean, it doesn't matter which one it is, it's just any one you like. So on those portals, you can search just by a road name, and you can find an application of someone who's near you, or you can even look on the map.
Can you see that?
No, we can't see your screen. Stuart.
I've done something wrong.
Are you on a Windows machine?
Yes.
So if you move your mouse down to the bottom
Oh,
of
there
the
it is.
Zoom screen, yeah. There you go. It's coming.
Okay. We made Planning 24. You remember that?
Right.
I put my house in there.
Yep.
So I turn that on. I click on my house. I get Planning 24 up. I get link to public
Well-
access Uttlesford.
Yeah, but where did that link come from? Where did you get that link from?
I went to the planning site and just copied the
Yeah.
address.
Okay, so okay, I think I know what the issue is, but
Yes.
It comes up with just null.
yes. When you're on the planning site, can you do a search on that site or go into the portal? So come out of there altogether. Just go to another tab on your browser, Stuart.
That's still Parish Online, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all parish online. If you go to the right-hand end where there's a
Yeah.
plus, yeah.
Sorry, the Zoom menu is in the way.
Yes, it always is.
So I'll go to search.
Yep. There we go.
Came up with that.
Yep. And if you just
So I
type
copied
in...
that. The
No,
address.
no.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the
Oh.
problem. So what you have to do is to find a specific application. So if you don't have a number or no, just type in a postcode or something. Type in your postcode. There must be somebody who's building something in your place. Yeah, there you go. So just go into any one of those, doesn't matter which, just click on the link. There you go. Now, what you have to do, unfortunately, if you look up at the top, the URL at the top,
Yes.
it's not very specific. But if you go now to say, click on the Documents tab, there you go. That's a much more relevant number. So you see the URL has now got a specific number in it. You just copy the whole of that URL up on the top of your browser. Yep. Good. Yep. And now go to Parish Online and paste that into your link tab. So if you edit that one, you need to click on the pencil.
Yeah, the pencil.
And just, yes, change that link, delete that one and put in your new one.
Yeah.
You can just
Right
do
click.
control V if you like. Paste will do. Paste. Yeah. Do a control V. That's the old one, I think. I think that may be the new one. There you go. So just save that. And now click on that link, the arrow, and that'll take you to the right one. There you go.
Brilliant.
Yeah. There's something weird about this app that if you don't actually go into a page other than the home page, you don't get the right URL.
What
Yeah.
I tend to do is when you go back, if you go back a couple of stages with that one.
How do I go back?
Or you mean just click on the Details tab?
Yeah,
Stuart?
when you had the go to search again, and just put in the postcode of where the application is. Yeah. So I right click on the link there. I find the one that I would to. Right click on the link of that. No, sorry, go back to the search results. So you would find the one in that list there that you want the link to go to. So
You just right click there.
right click there and find the URL, and then use that for the link to put into the
Okay, that works.
Yeah,
too.
copy link.
yeah.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
that takes you to the home page of that application.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you need to click on the pencil again, Stuart. And delete that one.
Oh.
I thought that was the new one.
Yeah, no, that'll do then. Okay, so save
This is
that.
a new one.
And now click on the arrow. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I suspect there's something wrong in the copying.
I wonder if you've actually got two links.
Yeah, exactly.
You have
You
probably didn't delete the
You can read
first
it at
one.
the top. You drop the end, the
Not
new
two
one.
in one.
Yeah.
At the end of the first one, it says, yeah.
Yeah, it's very long, that one. Is it? Just go into edit
It's doubled.
again, Stuart, and delete the whole of that.
How do I delete?
And
Just
just
edit.
highlight it like you're doing, and then just click delete or back arrow, whatever you want.
Control line.
Inside the box.
There you go. Yeah,
Mm.
there you go.
Okay.
Just you can hit your delete button now. You
How do
just
paste?
Yeah, you just do Control V, same thing.
Control V.
So on your keyboard, you have a Control key on the left-hand
That's it.
side and the letter V. There
And
you
click
go.
save.
Good. Now try that one.
It's a bit shorter.
Bingo. Well
Yeah.
done.
Hey.
Okay, well, thanks, Stuart, both for that.
Thank you. I'll stop sharing now.
Now, Hazel, last week you promised us that you'd arrive full of
I
questions.
thought it was Holly.
This
One thing I would like to know is how to share. If I've created a document of Parish Online, how I can share that with another councillor. You have done that before, but
when you say you've created a document, what do you mean by that, Hazel?
perhaps I've used the wrong word. When I've made a map,
Yeah.
stuff on it, how can I share that with another person?
Oh, he just logs into Parish Online and he goes into the same layer. What you've created is visible by everybody in your parish.
Oh, right. Oh, that's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, just need to tell them the layers that you've got turned on for the information you want them to see.
Sorry?
You just need to tell them which layers you want them to be able to see when they log in. So where you put
Yeah.
information you're wanting them to look at.
Same way as it is for you,
Fine.
Ellen, when unless you click on a layer, you don't see the data that's in there.
Yes.
So they won't see the data unless they actually select that layer.
Yes.
But then they will.
Fine. I shall sort that out then. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
I'm sorry I haven't got a big list of things.
Well, every little one helps.
I've got all my, see, I've folded with all your information, all your different sessions. So I tend to go back and then sometimes I can't find what I'm looking for. So then that's when I.
Well, there we go.
Thank you.
Just in case there's anybody who hadn't noticed it, there's a new Parish Online newsletter out this week, full of all sorts of tips of how they're going to help you use their email system and their web building system. So if you aren't using their designs, then there's not much in the newsletter for you.
I've actually registered for one of these webinars coming up in about 10 days' time.
Excellent. Well, do tell us all about it.
This is to do with the new email platform that Parish Online have introduced. Our parish council are now using it. It's an upgraded version of what we've had before from Parish Online, but it's a little bit unwieldy at the moment. So that's why I'm interested in having a bit of a teach-in and to follow any tips and tricks that they can give to parish councillors. So that's why I'm interested in joining the session.
Okay. I wonder what email platform they use.
Something called Zoho Emails. It's a company based in the Netherlands, which surprises me, but there we are.
Well, I use Zoho all the time.
Do you?
Yes,
all
my company emails are on Zoho.
Oh, right.
So if you have a question to ask, now is the time to bore everybody with my non-knowledge. Is there anything specific in Zoho that you want to do at this moment?
When I registered last night on Parish Online for this seminar, they sent me a link for when I should join the session, but unfortunately I've lost that link. So I'll have to send an email to Parish Online. Please, would you send me another link? And I'll make sure I save it properly.
Has it? Have you saved it and it gone into the calendar for your email?
Yeah, it's gone into calendar, but I don't know whether the join thing is in the calendar.
Yeah, no, I would check a lot of the time. If you find the calendar event with that in and open the open the calendar event, all of the details that were in the email will be in that calendar event.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, if I open up while we're talking my Zoho emails. Wait a minute.
Just
Bear
share
with
your
me.
screen, Chris, because we'd all be fascinated.
Yeah, I'll share in a minute. Famous last words. Right. So, screen share. Can you all see that?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the new Zoho platform, as they call it. So I'm getting to grips with my emails. I had a huge problem with sending attachments to other councillors, but fortunately, I've ironed out the problem that I had. Anyway, if we go up to calendar, and I go the 24th, here we are, Parish Online Insights, getting to grips.
Yep, and there is the link.
There it
Wait a
is.
minute, wait a minute.
There it is.
Where's the join the meeting?
Just
Where it says join event.
Where it
The
says
one-
unable to attend, scroll down.
That huge, the purple URL.
That bottom.
Oh,
that
this
one
one.
there. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Says join
Well,
event.
right. Well, thank you for that. I mean, when I got the details from Parish Online confirming my attendance, there was a nice little box, rather like this, which says join meeting.
Yes. And if you look at the white
but
letters,
it's not. It's
well,
not
look
here.
at the white. Look at the white letters above the purple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Thank you for letting me find that.
That's all we're
Yes.
about, Chris. Is humorous Friday afternoons.
And what there was another query I had. Oh dear, I've forgotten what it is now. I'll think of it during the course of this afternoon's session. But anyway, here is the emails that we're getting on a daily basis, and I'm a little bit rusty on some of the things, but I think I've got to grips with most of the stuff.
Read what the stuff is on the right hand side.
Your audio is a bit difficult this afternoon, Stuart.
I say I'm a bit intrigued as to what is going on the right hand side page.
Right. Where should I point?
Right a bit outside of the.
Oh, that's the browser. I don't think it has anything to do with email.
Oh no, because that's within the email system, isn't it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's within the email system because you change your browser tab, Chris, then that won't be there. I'm fairly certain.
Tell me what to do.
Click on your Parish Online one, the third one in, and that section will have gone. Yeah. If you go back to the left one, there are two sections there. You've got the main page scroll on the very right hand side, and within that then you've got the scroll of the emails inside that. But you've got that little bar on the right there with a variety of other features.
Yeah.
Presumably the second one up is turning it from dark mode to light mode.
Yeah.
Not sure what the lightning is. Yeah, you've got lots to work out.
Yeah. It'll take me ages to go through, but I mean, I'll get there in the end. And the more you use it, the more accustomed I will be to finding all these little tips and tricks. But we've only had this a short while.
Do you like that black screen, Chris?
Well, I find it's less glaring for my eyes.
Good.
where do I change from dark mode to light mode?
So scroll
Down
down.
at the bottom right.
Sorry, let me get rid of bottom. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay during the daytime for me to read a light background, but when I do most of my computing in the evenings, so that's why I prefer to have dark mode.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Each to their own.
Yeah.
To add something totally different, going back to your earlier comment, Chris, about sort of the maps and the ticket you're going to create for Chris to ruin his weekend. I've been looking, been looking at the maps, and yeah, turning on all of the features and whatever under the electricity stuff down the bottom here and under the national grid.
Yes.
There is another unexplained grey box.
Okay.
Just to the north of you at Castle Carey.
Yes.
Oh, it comes up saying Castle Carey.
That's the railway station.
Yeah, at your railway station, there's just as you turn those on, that sort of would disappear. I would have thought, but it's not the National Grid. It came up when I turned National Grid on, but it doesn't appear anyway in the legend.
No. So that's yet another instance.
Yeah.
Well, except you just, all right. I mean, you just turned all those layers off.
I just turned the electricity off.
Yeah.
The box is still visible on the map.
Hmm.
What happens if you do a refresh?
Wait half an hour. Yep.
No, it's just as you come back as a railway station, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the word Castle Carey is there from the Ordnance Survey. It's nothing to do with the.
Oh no! Yeah, no. Yeah, I guess that's the train station then. It was on. Because what I've got, I think, was.
Oh, there you got it now. Yes, what's that one?
Yeah, that's with the aerial photography on.
Hmm.
And that's the only thing on in it. It sends the train station to a big grey box.
Hmm.
Interesting.
If you click on that box, what happens?
Nothing.
Hmm.
Oh, it gives me the parish detail. It's
Parish
nothing to
Castle
do with
record.
the box.
Yeah.
Castle Carey Station isn't square, is it?
No, it's long.
No.
Perhaps it's the military trying to disguise it.
I'll play around with that this evening.
If you go out to view legend there, Stuart, did it give you anything?
Sorry, bear with me, I'll come back to it. View legend, and it sits just with the parish boundary. It didn't show anything more.
Right.
No.
Okay. And what did you turn on? Or is it just turning on the aerial photography that brought up that box?
I changed from the OS Premium Stack Standard to the white version and put the aerial photography on.
Yeah, but which one produced the box? Right, that one did. Yeah. So that's the problem. It's in the premium stack.
Oh no, it's in the OS Premium Stack.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, I mean, what I'm saying is that Chris's answer to that, or Chris Pierce's answer, will be nothing to do with me, Chief. Because he has nothing to do with Ordnance Survey.
It's not something to do with a new car park, is it?
You want cake?
The new what, Malcolm?
The new car park.
I would doubt it.
Yeah, that's a bit to the left, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the monochrome white and black OS premium stacks that are showing it.
I suspect there may be one Ordnance Survey map series that has a square dot for a railway station, and you've just turned that on when you turned on the stack.
Mm.
Oh, they're not consistent across all their productions?
They should be, shouldn't they? But
in a perfect world, but
yeah,
you know, we live in a world with Liz Truss, so
Yeah.
it's not perfect.
I'll have a look at the other stations up and down the line tonight to see whether they've all got squares.
Bridgewater hasn't.
yeah.
I've just
It's
been
probably
playing as you were talking.
denoting the station for Glastonbury.
Yeah,
Oh.
for Pelton.
Yeah.
Alistair, good afternoon. Haven't seen you, spotted you there before. Nice to see you. So inevitably the focus turns to you, Alistair, to ask if you have any questions you'd like answered.
No, I've
Take us-
been up to my eyebrows in the last few weeks and haven't been able to join you, but I thought tonight I could just get in, albeit late.
All right, well, hoping you were going to put us out of our misery.
Sorry. You get a bit highbrow for my job. All I want to know is Ashford Borough Council on board yet or not?
Let me just check.
It'd be quite nice to save a lot of work if they were on and did things electronically.
It's right.
So remind me how you're spelling that?
Ashford, ASHFORD,
Yeah.
Borough, BOURGH.
It's not known as a council on its own right. There's Ashford, Bowdler, there's Ashford Carbonell, there's Ashford Hill, there's Ashford in the Water.
No, it's Ashford. It's the borough of Ashford. It's quite big in Kent, Ashford, Kent.
Maybe I need to be on the business because this only deals with towns, parishes, or community councils.
No,
Because the clue is that you can go on to Parish Online's own website and ask them how much the cost is for their area, and if they've already bought it, they'll say you've already bought it. So that's a way of knowing whether Ashford has got it or not.
Have you got a telephone number for Parish Online then?
Yeah, I can, since I happen to be on the page.
I think time we finish the walk off the weekend there.
Oh no, 2:45? No way.
Oh yeah. I think only a third of them work in the offices anyway. Sorry folks, I'm holding you up.
No,
Any
that's
filling time, fine.
funnily enough, I don't have a phone number on this website.
I'll look it up on the the other computer. Okay, sorry gents, keep going. Time is short.
See if there's a mapping for businesses.
Surface water.
It's weird, Alistair. There's no listing for anything starting with Ashford.
Right, I move on. Let the I'm not cramming other people's time up.
No. I think the reason I said that you're a ray of sunshine to us is because we're running out of things to say.
Could I ask about the tithe layer?
Sure.
I've just tried searching on it because I was quite interested in possibly
you might-
being able to decline planning applications, and it doesn't seem to appear on mine at all.
Would you like to share your screen?
Surely Somerset, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're not in Somerset, are you, Stuart?
No.
I think Malcolm will probably be able to advise us, but I suspect it's probably a Somerset only layer.
So if you do a search at the top and you type in TITHE,
No, it's Somerset only.
nothing. So it's
Yeah. Stuart, if you want to see the tithe map, the best place for old maps is, believe it or not, the National Library of Scotland.
Yeah,
And I'm sure you'll find it there.
yeah, they got them all.
it's a wonderful place. That's like you can get very, very lost in there in time
Yeah.
wise. I mean,
Yes, give yourself a morning.
And that's all online, is it?
Yeah, everything's
yeah.
online. It's
Oh.
worth going there just to learn how to use it. You can see lots of things.
Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant. Thank you for that.
fascinating. So, for those of you who are utterly fascinated about talking to councils about getting data out of them, we could ask Richard to summarize the meeting that we had with Somerset Unitary Council on Thursday.
For those in the benefits of Somerset, they are working towards having a consistent approach across the whole county. I made the point that the Rolls-Royce service of SSDC needed to come to the West Somerset area because we're in the Sunday Football League, whereas Chris is in the Premier League for data. But they assure me that they've probably got something in West Somerset on the back of a bit of paper. Can't say fag packet anymore that they might be able to share at some stage, but at the moment it's going to take a bit of work. They are trying and they are working. We are heading towards trying to get some more highways information out of them so that we get that consistent across the piece. It was a very useful sort of 3/4 of an hour, wasn't it, Graham? They were very
the line that I really liked was from John, who was calling in from Brittany somewhere, and he was a little bit, his connection was a bit unstable, but we were talking to a lady called, is it Erna? I've forgotten already.
Santa.
No, not Santa, the other one.
Oh, Emma Plummer.
Right. So Emma is responsible for getting data to and from the parishes, particularly the LCNs, and came from Mendip, where she worked alongside Adam, who is now the head of GIS. And there were two statements that fascinated me. The one was that Somerset West and Taunton has never had a GIS, which I didn't know was possible. I don't see how they could function without one, but never mind. Perhaps your argument is they don't function very well. And the second statement was that Emma said that she had found that the highways department to be, of all the departments in the council, by far and away the most friendly, cooperative and helpful.
Rubbish.
Which brought up the most wonderful line from John in France saying, well, you're obviously talking to a completely different highways department than the one that we all deal with. But she has promised that she's going to talk to them specifically about which bits of the highway they claim that they own and that they'll be responsible for mowing and so forth, and which bits the rest of us can expect to have to catch up on.
Emma's very good, actually. I used to have a lot of dealings with her when I was dealing with Mendip.
Right. So you were talking to Emma a lot, Emma Plummer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was very helpful.
Well, she's now got a bigger job, which she still says is part-time, which I found extraordinary. But yeah, as Richard said, it was a positive meeting and they made all sorts of promises, and we do have a sort of a permanent line of communication with them, which is a big step.
Good.
And for those of you who are not in Somerset, Somerset has recently started exporting many more layers of data to us. So things like, for instance, the heritage map that you can't see, Stuart, in Essex, the tithe maps. I'm sure you've got them. It's just that no one's ever thought to put them out to Parish Online. So another good case for you to argue with Simon Miles.
Just when you were talking about highways, I spent 2 years on a government committee dealing with the Compensation and Compulsory Purchase Acts, which is very interesting. One of the things was where the country lanes, I don't know how far it goes out to, but the ownership of the road underneath the surface, the councils have the control of the surface of the road and the verge up to the hedge or ditch. the land underneath still remains to the ownership of the neighbouring landowner. And the telephone companies had the least power as far as compulsory purchase went, and the water companies had the most. And I was busy trying to move the new act over so it worked on the telephone system. But it was quite interesting, and I had my son hit a telegraph pole, and it broke it off. And they were coming after me for £800 for it. And I said, well, your pole is sitting in my ground. If you want to do that, then I'm going to give you notice for every pole that's stuck in our verge. And then I never heard another thing. But, and then when the high-speed railway came through, they redirected the road. And I said, right, I want the land back to the middle of the road. They huffed and puffed and everything else, but I got it back. So it must be reasonably sound. The other thing was, have anybody tried to work on cadastral plot parcels?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had some criminals had dumped 29,000 tons of waste in a woodland, and it'd been sold in parcels. And that's been very, very useful, being able to locate the owners of the ground underneath it.
Wow.
Because there's a bill for up to £15 million to get it shifted. And it's quite an interesting thing. I presented that to them at the meeting, and I think that helped the Environment Agency get it going. But they were the main parties for doing nothing that got us in the mine in the first place.
Did no one notice 29,000
yes,
tons?
I found it in July 23 and complained to the borough council, and I think I pickled them off because they told us nothing to do with them. So it's nothing to do with them, nothing to do with English Nature, nothing to do with the Environment Agency and all the rest of it, until we managed to get it on television in January. Within 4 days, there's a court order stopping all work in there. There's still got this huge pile of waste that's killing all the trees around about it. But yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting to say that it does work.
Have they been able to find who dumped it there?
No, not yet. They've got sites all over Kent, apparently. I dare say they've got sites over your way too. They just move this waste in, they get paid for it. They get the waste license money. They just pocketed it.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. Lorries we're going in there without number plates, without livery, 8 or 10 times a day with the same lorry, all being reported. The police didn't do anything. Now, of course, they're all trying to find out what went on.
I seem to remember the television program, Alistair.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have had a ministerial order that the EA have got to use their own funds to get it cleared. But then at the moment they're sort of vetting all these contractors, and I don't know where it's going to go to somebody else's hole, I expect. Anyway, that's an aside.
Wow. Well, let me just check with anybody if there's any more questions, because otherwise I shall declare it's the weekend.
Going back to Chris's surface water flooding.
Yeah.
Under your SSDC, you've got a risk of flooding from surface water layer,
Okay.
and that's got some squiggles on it for that field above those houses.
Oh, right.
As well.
Will you
Okay,
share
I'll
that
take a
with
look
us,
at that, Richard. Thank you very much.
You want to share?
Yeah, I always wanted to see squiggles. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yes.
Wow. And if you
Yes.
click on View Legend, does it tell you what that is? Risk of flooding from surface water. Okay.
Wow.
What
That's
layer was
very
that in?
useful.
It's also, I think it's also, if I turn that one off and turn on, oh, don't you just love all these layers that SSDC have? You know,
It's the Rolls Royce.
if you certainly Rolls Royce, yeah, it's the Rolls Royce. I get the Rolls Royce. Because I'm assuming it's this. It must be the same sort of information from the two.
Yes.
Doesn't want to come on.
Richard, if you scroll the map down, pull it down, so you're going north. Go on, bit more. No, down.
Other down.
Down.
There you go. Yes.
Bit more.
Other way.
Stop there. Stop there. You see the word station or STA. Normally it floods in the 2 fields below the station.
Yeah, if you turn
you
those
turn
layers
on-
on, it does show
yeah.
that. There you go.
There we are. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there we go.
There is just those squiggles are there. Look,
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yes.
that's on the the least layer, but
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's there. So
Excellent.
they are.
So
That just
it's a wonderful,
underlines the.
Yes.
wonderful
underlines it, I
opportunity,
think.
Chris, to ask the local planning authority how the hell they didn't object to it on those grounds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
The local planning authority simply asks the drainage board, and they go with whatever the drainage board says. So the problem is that it wouldn't have occurred in the comment from the drainage board.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
I think we have as villages to actually use these maps and
Yeah.
point it out,
Mm.
and then send in a particular note when we have to comment on an application to say, note that this is such and such appears on the map, and could the drainage board be asked to comment? Otherwise they don't. Otherwise the guys don't ask, or the people don't ask.
Mm.
Interesting. Right.
You're pointing out that water flows downhill.
That'll be done.
That's a new one on me, Richard.
On most planning applications, if you read the FRAs, you'll find it doesn't flow downhill, it flows uphill. On all our planning applications, we've got the parrot flowing the wrong way.
For the purposes of those not in Somerset, that's the name of a river.
Yes.
Wonderful.
The other thing which you can get off the environmental map is ancient remains.
Oh.
Yeah,
Of buildings or humans?
yeah. No, it's a very good one, that.
Yeah, because we made them have a I can't remember what they call them now. The people who, the archaeological people, had to be present while a particular place was built.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you have the Foss Way going right through the middle, don't you? So have we.
Right. Yeah.
Mm,
But it's another thing which that series of maps helps with.
yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Mendip planning didn't take any of that into account.
Really.
No. So it's another thing that local parishioners got to be careful of.
Yes.
thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for your time. Malcolm, it's wonderful to see you. I hope you'll come back to us again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope to be able to now.
Yeah, good.
Oh, good.
Wonderful. Well, stick with us. And everybody have a very fine weekend, and let's see you next week. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.